we begin section 2 of the primary series, draw your feet together, coming into a tripod stance. Extend the right leg towards the sky, keeping a demi-point and your hips neutral. Bend the right knee as you elevate onto the ball of your left foot and roll the knee towards your forehead. Engaging your cobra hood and slowly place the right foot in between your hands, coming into a low lunge. Make a fist with the right hand, draw the arrow back towards your shoulder, gaze forward and rise, coming into revolved archer. Release the right hand forward as you circle the left hand towards the back, coming into warrior two. Extend out through your fingertips, keeping your right knee stacked over your right ankle and pressing into the ground with the outside edge of your back foot. Circle the arms as you pivot on the balls of your feet, coming into high drop stance. Again, pressing into the ground with the outside edge of your right foot this time. Grab the sword from your hip with your right hand and spear it forward as you come into reaching warrior. Place the right hand on the ground next to your right foot and circle the left hand overhead through extended side angle down to a low lunge position. Make sure you turn that left foot so that your heel is now facing the sky. Press the ground away, engage your cobra hood, and extend that right leg back towards coming into your three-legged dog. Slowly lower the right leg back to the ground to meet the left. Separate your feet hip-width apart, and we'll go for a rolling vinyasa. Elevate onto the balls of your feet and roll the spine forward as you come into a plank position. Slowly start to lower, bend your elbows, lowering down through chaturanga into a prone position. Untuck the feet, draw your knees towards the chest, tilt the pelvis, and cobra roll into upward facing dog. Draw the chin towards the chest, press the ground away, and roll back into your downward facing dog. So draw your feet together again, coming back into that tripod stance. Extend the right leg behind you, keeping the demi-point and your hips neutral. Bend the right knee and roll it towards your forehead. Engaging cobra hood, placing the right foot in between your hands into your low lunge. Make a fist with the right hand, draw it towards your shoulder, gaze forward and rise, coming into revolved archer. Release the hand, coming into warrior two. Transition, coming back into your high drop stance. From here, reach your hands forward, start to lower your hips towards the ground. As you do so, make sure you start to turn that right leg so that your toes are facing up. Slowly sit down, reaching your sit bones on the ground. Extend your right hand behind you and bridge the hips, coming into a warrior's bridge. Slowly start to lower back towards the ground. Once the sit bones touch, shift your weight forward. Turn that right foot to touch the ground. Grab the sword with your right hand from your left hip. This time you're going to reach out and fly over the right leg, keeping a demi-point with the left leg extending backwards as you come into your flying warrior. Keeping the energy sending through your fingertips towards the front as well as the back. From your flying warrior, slowly start to bend the right knee as you reach your left leg towards the ground behind you. Once it touches, transition into your high drop stance, pressing into the ground with that right leg, the outside edge of the right leg. Grab the sword with the right hand as you spear it forward, coming into reaching warrior. Lower the sword to the ground next to your right leg as you circle the left hand overhead through extended side angle pose, coming back into your low lunge. Press the ground away, engage your cobra hood, and extend back, coming into your three-legged dog and lowering back down to downward facing dog. Separate the feet hip-width apart. We'll go for another rolling vinyasa. Elevate onto the balls of your feet. Roll the spine vertebrae by vertebrae. As your shoulders come over the wrists, extend out into a plank pose and slowly start to bend the elbows as you lower down to prone position. Untuck the feet, draw the sit bones towards the sky and cobra roll into upward facing dog. Draw the chin towards the chest, press the ground away and roll back, vertebrae by vertebrae, coming back into a downward facing dog. So draw the feet together, elevate that right leg, keeping your demi point and hips neutral. Rise onto the ball of your left leg, bend the right knee, and roll your right knee towards your forehead, placing the foot in between your hands, coming into your low lunge. Make a fist with the right hand, draw it back towards your shoulder, and start to rise for your revolved archer. Release that right hand forward as the left hand circles overhead into your warrior two, and transition into your high drop stance. Start to lower the sit bones towards this ground as your right foot turns up. As your sit bones touch, extend the right hand behind your hip and rise for warrior's bridge. As you lower the hips back to the ground, protect your face with the left hand. As you sit down, shift the weight forward, turn that right foot towards the ground and reach forward and fly over that right leg, coming into flying warrior. From here, we're going to square the hips, kick the left leg through, keeping your demi point as we pivot on the ball of the right foot. Start to hinge at the hips as you lower your hands towards the ground. Go for a falling warrior and coming all the way to the ground into prone position. Untuck the feet, draw the sit bones towards the sky, tilt the pelvis, and cobra roll into an upward facing dog. Draw your chin towards the chest, press the ground away, and roll back into your downward facing dog, untucking one foot at a time.